Good morning, students. So, from the previous class, that eukaryotic cells, some more organelles which are there that we have to learn. So, this class notes already I had given to you. Okay, this class cilia and flagella, and you know that paramecium, if you remember, cilia are in more in number. Paramecium body, they contain the cilia, and flagella, bacteria and other some more organisms. You can see flagella is less number. Okay, cilia, flagella, they are just like hair like and movable projections, outgrowths of the cell membrane. From the cell membrane they come outside. So suppose if you see this paramecium, cilia will be like this. Paramecium, cilia will be like this, and suppose bacteria or other any chlamydomonas. Bacteria is a chlamydomonas or chlamydomonas, whatever you say. 2 flagella, many cilia. Paramecium is a unicellular protozoan. And this is algae. Okay, so what I wanted to say, cilia are less in number and paramecium more in number, and flagella in less in number, and air-like structures, they are coming from the cell membrane. And cilia and small and more in number, and flagella, they are bigger, a few and per cell. And what is the use of that? Cilia helps the organism movement of the cell, bearing them or the movement of the fluids. And even cilia not only outside any membrane, in our intestines also, in our body internal organs also, many places cilia are there. They, especially ovaries and all, they send the, they pass the movement, they help the movement of the ovum and all. Okay, cilia. So next, the ultrastructure as seen in the microscope shows the cilia and flagella are membrane bound cylindrical structures. Outside membrane will be there, and they are the membrane bound structures. Okay, so you can see this one. One flagella diagram is given. Flagellum diagram, that you can see representation of internal structure of flagella. This is the internal structure of flagella and cilia. So this internal structure of flagella and cilia, if you see, so what are the parts they have? They have the rootlets and basal body. If you take one of that, any one, this is the cut view of the this one, basal plate and shaft or axoneme. These are the total parts. What is the first part? Rootlets, basal body, and this is just we are showing the internal structure. Outside structure I am telling. Outside structure, if you see any flagella, that contains rootlets, basal body, basal plate and shaft or axoneme. And the cilia and the flagella, they allow with the help of rootlets. Root places they remain. If you see, this is the cut part, no, cell membrane, and what are that? Central doublet fibrils and central sheath. This is peripheral doublet fibrils. This is cut view. If you cut one, and you can see that one. Okay, next one, the basal body, actually where it will be, base of each cilium flagellum in the cytoplasm, starts from the cytoplasm, shows 9 microtubules and triplets along the peripheral region. Okay, next, what is the basal plate? Separates axonema from the basal, and axonema possesses 9, you count here, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, plus inside 2. This is called 9 plus 2. Flagellum structure, cilium or flagellum structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 2. So that is why it is called doublets, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Axonema possesses 9. One axonema possesses 9 microtubules, okay, and doublets 2, 2, 2 along the peripheral region, outside the near the membrane, and one pair will be in the central. 9 will be in the outside peripheral region and 2 will be in the center. So this is called 9 plus 2 structure. How this is arranged, that is the 9 plus basal part, basal body. Okay, the central tubules, these are 2 are there, no, they are connected by bridges and also enclosed. This is enclosed by a central sheath. The central one, this is the central sheath. They are enclosed with a central sheath, and which is connected to one of the tubules, each peripherally region, doublets by a radial spoke. Okay, the peripheral doublets, this one, peripheral doublets are also interconnected by links. These are doublets also interconnected by linkers. Each doublet also shows a pair of arms made up of protein, dynein. This much detail not necessary, but I am giving you notes like that. So NCRT, how much is given, that is okay. And cilia flagella are able to bend, just they can move and bend because adjacent microtubules doublets, because of the microtubule doublets slide over one by another, so they can move easily while maintaining their individual length. Next, this is the cilia flagella. Like cilia flagella also, 2 more structures are there in the cell. If you remember the plant and animal cell, centrosome, centrioles. Okay, centrosome is the organelle usually found near the nucleus, centrosome of animal cells. Very clearly you remember, this is only from in the animal cells, not in the plant cells. Sorry. Centrosome organelle usually found near the nucleus of an animal cell. Okay, and that is motile algal cells, sex cells of primitive land plants. Okay, that is about the centrosome. Detail we will see, and it consists of a pair of centrioles. This is the structures. Actually, these are the structures. Subunits showing the globular units, and this is the cross section. This is the digital section of the centriole. This is centriole TS. Okay, near the nucleus, suppose if it is a cell, if it is nucleus, near the nucleus, centrioles like this you will see. This the centrioles, animal cells. So it consists of a pair of centrioles right angles to each other and surrounded by an amorphous centriolar cytoplasm inside that, and centrosphere and kinoplasm. Okay, you see the structures here: pericentriole, satellite, triplet, CA, this one, and thickenings, spokes. These are the spokes, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And this is actually detailed structure. That much detail not necessary. What is the use and what is the purpose? Okay, so even this one, each centriole has a cartwheel like organization with 9 evenly spread microtubules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 evenly spread microtubules, triplets. 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is triplet. And triplets along the periphery, outside region. Okay, periphery connected to the central proteinaceous connected to the central proteinous hub by radial spokes. By the radial spokes. Also made up of proteins. All these structures, proteins and other cell different substances, proteins, maximum protein substances, polysaccharides and fat molecules like this. This is the proteinous substances. And the adjacent microtubule triplet are connected. This one, adjacent microtubule connected. Microtubule triplets are connected by CA linkers. The triplets are named ABC. ABC, ABC. Triplets names are given ABC. And they are connected if you see here the diagram. From the inner to the outside. From the inner to the outside. From the central spokes to the inner to the outside. And all the microtubules in a centriole are formed a protein tubulin. What is the protein? The microtubules are formed. One mark question. Tubulin. There is no membrane boundary for a centriole, but it is surrounded by pericentriolar. That is surrounded by pericentriolar satellites. If you see, this is pericentriolar satellites. Okay, not like membrane. Pericentrioles are muscles. This is pericentriolar or muscle, which are dense, amorphous and protoplasmic, means it contains protoplasm spheres and one or more series. Okay, centrioles form a basal body of the cilia flagella. Next, after the centrioles, continuation slightly. What is the function of the centriole and all? Centrioles, centrosomes, they give rise a spindle fibers. This is very important. Centrioles are, they give spindle fibers during the cell division. Animal cells. This year you will study cell division, mitosis and meiosis. So in the animal cells, whatever spindle fibers, what is the function of spindle fiber, that you will learn. And next, most important and interesting, and you should know detailed, but now just outside you will learn. The most important part is the nucleus. Where is the nucleus? The nucleus is in the center part of the cell. Okay, plant cell, animal cell. And there are two kinds of nucleuses. We have seen prokaryotic nucleus and eukaryotic nucleus. Prokaryotic nucleus without any boundary wall and all. Eukaryotic nucleus, they contain the nuclear membrane and all. Okay, so the nucleus, first of all, who has found and who has observed that? Robert Brown, that is 1831, and he described the nucleus first of all as it is a cell organelles, a living substance of the cell. Okay, about nucleus you should know thoroughly. Whole biology depends upon the nucleus. Next year or this year, whatever it may be, next year especially genetics and everything, without nucleus structure you cannot. So first Robert Brown, he described nucleus, first cell organelle, Robert Brown told. Next one, Fleming gave the name chromatin. Actually nucleus is made up of chromatin network. Inside the nucleus chromatin network is there. That name is given by Fleming. And material of the latter, the nucleus is stained by basic dyes. And actually nucleus staining stain acetocarmine, that you will see in 12th class. What is acetocarmine? Actually onion root tip you will take and you will see that one, the tissues root tip, and that will be stained with the help of acetocarmine, so that you can see nucleus and chromosomes very clearly. And first nuclear structures, if you take the structure of the nucleus, if you take, yeah, this one you have to learn. NCERT also is given. So this nucleus, if you see, first is the nuclear membrane. Let us get familiar with the labeling of the nucleus. Outer membrane, inner membrane, and endoplasmic reticulum outside the nucleus, and chromatin network and nucleolus and nucleoplasm. Okay, this is a nucleus structure. One by one we will see. Okay, first one is the nuclear membrane, second is the chromatin reticulum, third is the nucleolus, next is the nucleoplasm. And nuclear membrane, if you see under the electron microscope, first of all, this is eukaryotic nucleus. How do you say eukaryotic nucleus? Nuclear membrane. This is a membrane bound nucleus. Membrane is there to the genetic material covered by. Okay, shows a double membrane. This is a double membrane boundary. So the two membranes are parallel with space in between that. That is called perinuclear space. That is called the perinuclear place. So double membrane, in between the membrane, whatever place is there, that is a perinuclear space, and it is about 10 to 15 nanometer in width. And the nuclear membrane forms barrier between the outside this is inside the cell. Now barrier between the cell, cytoplasm here. This is cytoplasm here, nucleoplasm here. Nuclear membrane is covering between these two. Okay, and membrane is a barrier between the cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm. So the outer membrane is more often continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum. If you see nucleus from here, endoplasmic reticulum comes, and the nucleus, suppose if it is endoplasmic reticulum coming, it is studded with what? Ribosomes. Studded with ribosomes. The nuclear membrane is studded with ribosomes. Okay, so from the nucleus to cell membrane, one part to another part, endoplasmic reticulum comes from the outer membrane, and the endoplasmic reticulum is studded with ribosomes. And the nuclear envelope is interrupted. The nuclear envelope is interrupted at several places by minute pores. It is interrupted by minute pores at several places, and which are formed by the fusion of its two membranes. These are the fusion of the two membranes. Okay, and next one, exchange. So this, through this exchange of material between the nucleoplasm and cytoplasm, cell outside the cytoplasm, material exchange will take place through the nuclear pores. Next, coming to the second structure, nuclear membrane is over. Nucleoplasm, it is a part of the protoplasm. Protoplasm is, what is protoplasm? It is a living substance. Protoplasm is equal to cytoplasm plus protoplasm is equal to whatever is there inside the cell membrane plus cytoplasm plus nucleus. Okay, so this nucleoplasm is a part of the protoplasm found inside the nuclear membrane, and it is also called nuclear matrix. Matrix means ground substance. It is also called nuclear matrix. And what does it contain? It contains chromatin network and nucleolus. The nucleoplasm contains chromatin network and nucleoli. Okay, now let us see what is nucleoli. And one nucleus or two nuclei, one nuclei or two nuclei are found in the nucleoplasm, and the content of the nucleus is continuous with the rest of the nucleoplasm, as it is lacks boundary membrane. So the nuclei are larger in those cells which are actively engaged in protein synthesis. Wherever protein synthesis has to take place, there the nuclei are very larger. Okay, nuclei are formed by the molecular organism and region or one or two chromosomes of the nucleus. And nuclei are the sites of the active synthesis of ribosomal RNA. This is ribosomal RNA, rRNA, nuclei, and they make the ribosomes. Nucleoli, what do the nucleoli? They are the site of synthesis of ribosomes, RNA. Ribosomal nucleus means RNA means ribosomal ribonucleic acid, and they make the ribosomes also. Okay, now next one, coming to the chromatin network. This is the chromatin network. About this chromatin network and everything detail you have to learn. And this network this is called actually nucleoprotein. Chromatin network is called fiber like those are there. They are the chromatin network. Chromatin network, this is chromatin. Chromatin is made up of chromosomes. Okay, but in normal nucleus they make a network like structure. During the time of division of the cell, the chromatin network will be condensed and dense and short, and they become distinct, clear, and they give the shapes, how many chromosomes are there in the cell, that will give. That is chromatin network. And chromatin contains DNA. It contains, what is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid and some basic proteins. So this chromatin network contains DNA, some basic proteins. DNA proteins are histones. The total DNA, how that is structured and all. And some histones will be there, protein, and some non-histone proteins are also there, RNA also, DNA and RNA. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid. If you see human cell, approximately 2-meter long fiber DNA. Total DNA, if you open and see, 2-meter long. And that is distributed among all the 46 chromosomes. So that total chromatin network in human cell, they contain 46 chromosomes. Okay, and approximately 2-meter long it will be, chromatin. When cell division starts, the chromatin condenses. As I told you, this all the fiber like structures, they condense and they become thick and clear, distinct. Distinct means clear. So this total network is made up of how many chromosomes? That all the chromosomes will be clear during the division. Chromatin condenses into individual rod-like structures. So that is called chromosome. So chromatin network is made up of what? Chromatin network is made up of chromosomes. Okay, and every chromosome has a primary constriction or centromere. Every chromosome has a centromere. So let us see these chromosome structures. I will keep here. So here, centromere. This is one variety chromosome, this is another variety chromosome, different variety chromosomes. So centromere will be there. Every chromosome has a primary constriction or centromere. And what is this? Non-stained region. These chromosomes will be stained, but the centromere will not be stained. Staining means color taking, absorbing color or not absorbing color. And what does it do? A centromere holds these chromatids, both the sides of the chromatids. It holds the chromatids together. Centromere holds the chromatids together. Okay, and the chromosome becomes attached to the spindle fibers. These chromosomes attached to the spindle fibers means again in the cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Okay, these chromosomes attached to the centromere. So with the help of this one, okay, centromere. Attached to the spindle fiber by its centromere. Suppose whenever spindle fibers are there, the spindle fibers, the chromosomes has to attach. With the help of centromere, they attach. And each chromosome has a primary constriction at centromere. As I told you, it holds the chromatids together. The chromosome becomes attached to the spindle fiber by its centromere. And next one, if you see backside like that, 3-dimensional, disc shaped will be there backside. Structures here, centromere backside, disc shaped structures are there. They are called kinetophores. What are kinetophores? Disc shaped structures present on the side of the centromere. On the side of the centromere, disc like, here it is not shown. So they are called the kinetophores. Okay, and depending upon the, suppose centromere, if you see, some are in the middle, some are in the different positions are different centromere positions. So depending upon the centromere position of the centromere, chromosomes, how many types? 4 types are there. Depending upon the centromere positions, chromosomes are 4 types. One is telocentric and orocentric, subcentric, metacentric. Okay, this will be a 3 marks question or 2 marks question. Depending on the position of the centromere, how many types of chromosomes are there? Draw and explain. First one is the telocentric. Now you see the position of the centromere here, telocentric. Only 2 arms are there, 2 only are there. Okay, centromere is terminal, and so the chromosomes has only 1 arm. This is telocentric. Centromere is terminal and the chromosome has only 1 arm. This is divided into chromatids. Actually these are chromatids. Chromosome, this is chromosome like this, and if it divides, the two are there. Second one, metacentric, middle. The centromere is right in the middle of the middle, and 2 arms, middle means 2 here, 2 here, equal center. So that is called the metacentric. Arms of this chromosome equal in length, both the sides. Next one is the submetacentric. 2 arms are smaller and 2 are bigger. The centromere is little away from the center, so 1 arm is slightly longer than this one is longer than the other one. That is submetacentric. Metacentric, submetacentric, telocentric. Lastly is aerocentric. Okay, aerocentric means centromere is situated closer to one end, making 1 arm externally shorter and 1 is very long. Okay, these are about the 4 types of chromosomes. Okay, so now a few chromosomes have non-staining secondary chromosomes. If you stain with acetocarmine, they are in dark color. Okay, some parts of the chromosome are not staining, they are the secondary constriction at a particular location, and this gives the appearance of a small fragment that is called satellite. What is satellite? Non-staining part of the chromosome is called satellite, and satellite containing chromosomes are sex chromosomes. So what are that? A few chromosomes have a non-staining secondary constriction at a particular location, and this gives the appearance of a small fragment called the satellite. This is the satellite, and the satellite and having chromosomes are called sex chromosomes. Next, last but not the least of the cell of the eukaryotic cell, microbodies. There are spherical oval vesicles with a single membrane boundary. Next one is the peroxisomes and gyloxisomes and seprosomes and microbodies. These are the other structures. Microbodies and galaxisomes, peroxisomes. Okay, so peroxisomes means what? They are the microbodies which are contain enzymes for peroxide biosynthesis. Peroxisomes. And last one, glyoxisomes means they are the microbodies contains enzymes for beta oxidation of fatty acids and glyoxylate pathway. I have not given, just only microbodies if you remember, that is okay. So now once you go through the NCERT also, I will give some questions and some exercises I will give. Answer, first note down. In these notes I had given long back, so note down the notes and follow the video. I will give some questions from the video and some other exercise also, and you will write and show to me. Okay, all the best. Thank you.